Boom, like that. The Print Factory is back on a Friday. We got ODB, we got Big T, and myself, JSU, of course, hosting this ship after that terrible Thursday night game that I had to watch and just get through. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched it or turned it off at halftime. If you turned it off at halftime, you're a better man than me because I probably should have turned it off at halftime. ODB, did you turn off the game at halftime? Yes or no?
How dare you go into that's terrible hosting again. You go in, you don't say one word about him having a Bo Nix jersey on.
I'm trying to pretend like I don't see
You understand what this week is? This is Cincy Denver week.
Go get my jersey
you guys just ruined my perfect and literally my perfect intro because this man's got a fucking Bo Nix jersey.
My perfect intro. Came to the show prepared. Came to the show prepared for the biggest game that Print Factory's ever seen. Ooh. Bo Nix versus Joe Burrow for playoff spot.
Where's your jersey?
I'm about to go get it on.
Yeah, go get it.
Yeah, I watched.
If you had a jersey and ODB had the jersey, I'd be like, okay, they're going against each other. But you didn't even have the jersey.
This is my Christmas present, thanks to my wonderful wife.
I don't respect the Broncos enough to have to put the jersey on. That's how little I respect the Broncos tomorrow.
Yes.
Is it because it doesn't matter? You guys will just lose
there you go.
Next week.
If we win, we're alive next week, no matter what.
Yeah,
we might not get there next week, but we're alive, baby.
All right, you know what? Because I want to see you guys butt heads, we will talk the Saturday games just so I can listen to these two guys fucking butt heads about the damn Cincinnati.
Was sending these tweets Broncos. Early in the week too, like, oh, the line. He's like trying to get people to feel sorry for the Broncos, and it's 3.
No, I was trying to get the people to make money. I mean, how is this line only 3?
It's 3.5 on DraftKings. Go get your half. Don't just bet it at 3. At DraftKings Sportsbook right now, if you like the Broncos, it's 3.5.
If you like the Broncos, do not bet it. Do not bet it. That all the money's going to come in on the Bengals. Nobody's taking the Broncos here. This line's going to go off at 4. This line will
You were saying to take it at 3.
I said take the Bengals at 3.
Oh, take the Bengals at 3.
I said take the Bengals at 3. Nobody's playing the Broncos. The nation hates the Broncos. The nation loves the Bengals. All they see is offense. That's it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, the total is 50. The total's kind of moving a little bit too. It's at 50 right now. So definitely like the Bengals and the points right here. A lot of people are probably betting the over and the Bengals more than I see it. But Tony, how you feeling about your Bengals? It sounds like you're not worried. Sounds like you're ready.
This isn't the type of team that gives the Bengals problems. Easy dub. I mean, the good thing is the Broncos will get it done next week versus Carson Wentz. So that'll be getting in. But the Bengals aren't worried about teams like the Broncos. With one receiver and shitty running backs, that doesn't scare us. Easy dub. It's a freebie. It's a freebie tomorrow.
All right, we got freebie going right now. I think ODB is gonna take that jersey off and agree with them at the end of the day. So I don't even know if we should talk about that. I think we just talked about Saturday's games right there. ODB is gonna be on the Bengals, but he's rooting for Bo Nix, and Tony's saying it's a fucking free bet.
Yeah, Broncos.
I think if you like the Bengals, just grab them now at 3 with juice or 3.5. I mean, I cannot believe that this line has stayed steady. This line, I think, goes 4, 4.5. I mean, I can't believe it didn't open at 5. I'm shocked that this line has stayed where it is. I've heard that like pro money has come in on the Broncos, but just wait till all the fish public money comes in.
The public's coming in tomorrow for sure.
The public is coming in heavy on the Bengals.
Right now, the money looks pretty close to 50-50, but that's a lot of sharp money, like you're saying. That tomorrow, all the public's coming in tomorrow.
The public's coming in on the Bengals tomorrow, and I want to love the Broncos in this spot. I mean, especially if Riley Moss comes back. I mean, Surtain. I mean, nobody stops Chase, but I mean, Surtain can at least limit him a little bit. but yeah, I think that the Bengals defense has looked a little better, and I don't know. I mean, as much as I love Bo and I want to believe that like he can just go up and down the field, I mean, they really haven't, all that much the last couple weeks, and um, the defense has not been that good. I mean, Jameis, Richardson, Herbert all put up monster games. I mean, now you got to go to Cincinnati and play Burrow, Chase, Higgins. It's a tough ask, but you know, I'll be riding with the Broncos, but with a lot of hesitation. It's more just my heart on that one. I wish we could get both these teams in the playoffs and get the Chargers out. That Thursday game really hurt. That would have been really good if we could have gotten the Bengals in over the Chargers. Fuck, we should just replace the Texans with the Bengals. I mean, the Texans drawing stone dead. So
I want to know this too, Mitch. I want to know, is this a Big T lock? Are we getting a guarantee on this show?
No. I mean, I would bet it, right? So the opposite, if you want Cincinnati, you bet them right now because it's 3 everywhere besides DraftKings. Well, not everywhere, but half the places. You can still get 3 a lot of. So bet Cincinnati now because I like it way more at 3 than 3.5. So bet it now. Not a lock though, but I feel confident in it.
All right, not a lock, but you came in hot, so I was thinking we might get the lock.
If they truly thought they could make it's not that crazy that they make the playoffs still, but they need a lot to happen. Yeah, I think they get it done. What are their odds? I'm curious because last week we looked.
They're high. It's a lot higher now. That I think it would have been a little lower had the Chiefs lost that game, but now that the Broncos are going to get to face Wentz. And plus, you need Indy to lose to the Giants.
Bengals are plus 750 to make the playoffs right now.
Plus
on DraftKings.
Plus 750
to make the playoffs on DraftKings. Yeah,
that's a terrible bet. If you want to bet that, what's Broncos to miss the playoffs?
Broncos to miss the playoffs is plus 550.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at MGM, it's plus 600. If you want to bet the Bengals to make the playoffs, just bet the Broncos to miss the playoffs. Give up a couple of points there, and then at least you have yourself the out of the Colts or the Dolphins. Getting 750 versus 550 is ridiculous. Do not put a penny on Bengals to make the playoffs at that price when you can bet the Broncos.
It's brutal because the Colts are the more I'm more worried about the Colts than the Broncos because they play the Giants and the Jags. They're not going to lose those.
They got the schedule gift right there. They got the schedule gift. Unreal.
Yeah. I
have Broncos to make the playoffs at even money, and I have a pretty big bet on it. I haven't decided if I want to hedge it out or not. I can get 600 at MGM.
The Chiefs aren't playing their players. Don't hedge shit.
Yeah, there's no way
that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Just let it roll.
If you can't beat Carson Wentz, then you don't deserve your money. Don't hedge that stuff.
I love it. I hate hedging.
Carson Wentz, last night the greatest? What? Crazy.
It is going to be funny if not funny for ODB, but funny if he somehow wins that game. He's not going to win. They're not winning no game next week.
You started the telecast asking about did I watch the game? Well, I had a piece of a Survivor entry that had the Bears, so I did watch that game. I watched every second of it. If we win that game, there's 20 left in Circa Survivor entries worth over 700K, and we were one of 3 entries to have the Bills left, so we would have been in prime position to take down 7 figures, and we didn't hedge $1. So I'm not really a big hedger. I kind of walk the walk, talk the talk. So, just keep your equity. Don't make bets you don't like, and that's it.
I just want to say one thing. So I got killed during my beautiful intro of this show because this man had a Bo Nix. But what they don't realize is I had just listened to ODB tell me this story. So when I led him in, I thought he was going to talk about the Survivor thing that he had going on last night.
I purposely surprised you with the Bo Nix jersey. So
and you guys ruined it.
I figured we could open with, goat versus goat violence with Burrow versus Nix. 2 of my favorites.
All right. Well, my hosting skills were coming into question, so I had to clap back a little bit at Tony because it was actually a good intro, and ODB fucking surprised me with the Bo Nix thing, but I was already going, so I couldn't change it mid intro. All right, let's get to the games here. We'll do Saturday, so I don't get yelled at by Tony. Chargers and Patriots here, 4.5 point spread, 42.5 total in New England. Patriots coming off of a game that they gave everything to the Bills. Almost got there against the Chargers. Chargers have been struggling big time. 4.5 point spread. They are favored in New England. Tony, I'll start with you here because you're the big Saturday lover. What do you like in this game?
God, this line looks like Trap City too. I'm assuming the Chargers aren't really playing for anything at this point. Or did they clinch or no?
No, they're not officially in yet. They have to win.
I can't wait to not have to look at Patriot games anymore after 2 weeks because they're the worst. Like, I feel like I should like the Patriots in this game, but if the Chargers are actually playing for something, I have to take the Patriots still. I just can't. The Chargers have been so bad. I just have to think this game falls 3 or something if the Chargers win. So I got to take the Patriots, but I'll be honest, I am not looking forward to this game, watching this game, nothing about this game. So I'll take the Patriots though when I have to pick.
Yeah, this is what I call the lunch game, Tony. You go to lunch, the game's on, you kind of look up at it, but you're eating your food and you're enjoying it, and then you go look up.
And you watch some of it, but you don't watch every play. You're not listening to the commentators.
Yes.
You're not dialed in on it. It's just on the TV.
You don't have a ton of money on it.
TVs, it's on the side piece. So it's a side piece.
Yes, exactly. Back in the day, that was the smallest TV in the house for people. Yeah. Like back in the day, it was the smallest TV in the house that had this game on. And then the big TV, the main TV had like the good game on, So that's what this game is. But I agree with you. I think it falls 3. The Chargers have been, very unimpressive the last few weeks. And no Gus Edwards either. I don't know if J.K. Dobbins, I know he's listed as questionable. I don't know.
He's going to play, so I assume that means he's in.
All right. Well, then that's a little boost, I think, because they've kind of been struggling ever since he left, to be honest. Like ever since he got injured, they've been struggling big time. But ODB, Patriots for the both of us with the points. Where are you at?
I started this week thinking that I was going to really like the Patriots, and now I think I like the Chargers. Just basically comes down to me that I feel like the Patriots kind of gave everything they had in that Bills game and were turned away. Meanwhile, the Chargers been sitting at home. They've had a long week. Able to, the Patriots had to kind of rush a game plan after Buffalo in between the holidays on a short week. Meanwhile, the Chargers have, been off since Thursday. I think that this offensive line is really bad by the Patriots, and the one thing that the Chargers can do is get pressure on quarterbacks. So with a week plus to dial up some pressure versus a rookie quarterback, as impressive as May's been, I mean, we've seen how some of these rookies, they're good when the pocket's clean, but when it's not, there's some issues. I think we might just get a lackluster performance out of the Patriots here. And I think the Chargers might just have a workmanlike effort. They seem to beat up on these kind of bad teams that can't push them. I think they kind of struggle versus the teams that can push them offensively, which I don't think the Patriots can do. So I think they can win kind of a low scoring game and kind of hold the Patriots down to, maybe something like a 2010 game. So I think I like the Chargers here.
All right, the Chargers. Let's go. I mean, we kind of already gave the quick breakdown on the Broncos and Bengals. Both you guys are betting the Bengals at 3 is where we're at right now, correct?
I will not be betting the Bengals at 3. I don't hedge,
okay.
and I'm sticking with my my team. This Broncos team has been a covering machine. Meanwhile, the Bengals don't like to play physical football. The offensive line gets a little bit of a break here for Cincinnati. I think they get one of their big guys back, Orlando Brown, I think. So that's a plus, but Burrow has been under pressure. If Riley Moss is back for the Broncos, I think that's when they really started to struggle, is when he went out. I think with Surtain and Moss and dialing up blitzes, they might be able to give them some hell. But they are going to need a turnover. They are going to need a Bonita sack, a strip sack, or a Surtain, pick to get this thing done. I don't fully trust the Broncos offense to be able to do it alone. So defense is going to have to make a play or two for sure for the Broncos. Probably just kind of a stay away from me, but I'm going to be rooting for the Broncos. I'll have this bad boy on right here, rooting on my boy Knicks. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the Broncos have created a lot of points off of turnovers. And one thing I think that's one thing with against a team like the Bengals, who are probably going to put up some points, you would think that, their defense is going to have to help them out a little bit to stay with the Bengals. If this game does go over, which kind of feel like it does go over. And that's kind of how I feel like the line is going right now, with the Bengals being favored. I think they think there's points in this game. If the Bengals are winning, I think there's points. So maybe the Broncos can't hang. I think they can, though. I think they can put up points at least. Like maybe they don't cover, but I think they can put up a decent amount. I just think Burrow is going to be I think he's a tough matchup for someone like Burrow, like a gunslinger who's going to just test those guys down the field. I think the Broncos are going to have issues with that because Surtain can't cover everyone. And Joe Burrow, he's good enough to, go away from those matchups and find other guys. Also, made 2 of the greatest 2-yard passes I've ever seen in one football game last week, which, Tony, I haven't even brought up to you, but those 2 passes where he was throwing off of like one shoulder like this as he's getting hit, and the other one where he's almost like level chested to the ground and threw the ball. Probably 2 of the best passes that I've seen. One was for a touchdown from that close of a distance ever. I can't remember a tougher pass.
Yeah, I mean, he's the man. I mean, you're coming to the wrong source. You guys already make fun of me for talking him up. The guy's too good. Like, he's so good. Their offense is so good. It's been a very tilting year. I can't wait.
This I disagree with.
Anymore. Well, he can't be in the MVP talks because they haven't won. But as far as I get what he's saying, though, like as far as how good he's played, played.
If you gave the Bengals the Ravens record, I agree with you 100%.
He would be the MVP if you.
I agree. I agree.
You can't give him the MVP when they lose these games. I agree, but he's played incredible. But you're never going to get the MVP when you lose this many games. I agree for sure with that. He's been incredible though, and still the odds, like if Vegas or the sports books rank the teams right now, Cincinnati would be a top 5 or 6 team. Denver would not be. It's just Cincinnati is just a good team. And
if that's the case, why are they hung this line at 3 all week? I mean, you're basically saying, let's say it's a 2-point home.
I mean, it's a tough matchup stylistically.
2-point home field advantage. They're basically, the lines makers are saying they're only a point and a half on neutral.
These are always the games, though. Like, you can't have it both ways, though. We say every game's not a trap. This game's just going to be easy. It's just going to be an easy victory. Like, they're going to get it done.
How am I not getting a Big T lock for this game?
If I felt like they could get in the playoffs, which I don't, I would give it a lock.
Oh, that's why.
I'm a little uneasy
because what you're saying is they can win out and still not get in the playoffs. So
I mean, they can win out and there's a good chance they don't get in the playoffs.
Right.
That's not going to change their effort level, though, is it?
I agree. I'm just saying, as far as like a lock, I don't feel like it's a total lock. I think Denver is going to be super motivated. I think Denver will move the ball. I think there's going to be a lot of points, like all Cincinnati games. So, it'll come down to, will this freaking new kicker make a field goal or something when it's 34-31 or something?
So on this 3-game, on the 3-gamer, this is the game you're stacking.
I'm going to be the jamming this game on the 3-gamer. Absolutely.
Have you seen the other teams on this 3-gamer? Yes.
I can't wait to jam it. Actually, I'm super looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm all in on this game on the 3-gamer. We don't even have to discuss that too much. But you brought up someone brought up the MVP race. Josh Allen right now minus 200 to win the MVP. Lamar Jackson plus 145. Obviously, you can't bet Burrow. Saquon's the only other one that's close enough at 16-1. Jared Goff at 40.
Imagine betting Saquon right now. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
anybody that wants to bet Saquon, just please bet it with me.
Now, Joe Burrow, Tony, I think this shows how good Joe Burrow is. He's fifth with the record they have, and he's fifth.
That just shows you how stupid bettors are. Sam Darnold is the only one that deserves to be in that conversation.
He's 100-1. He's got the same odds as Pat Mahomes.
It's a two-horse race, but if there was a third horse, it would be Sam Darnold. I mean, it's not going to happen because Lamar and Allen just don't have enough games left that matter. But I mean, if Darnold were to go and beat Green Bay, everybody's darling, on the only game that people are going to be paying attention to on Sunday, and I mean, who the hell is this fucking guy? Is this
number one?
That's a smart man right there.
That's number one Big T fan RPS. Interesting. He is here though because he loves Big T.
Big T's burner account.
Yeah,
Did you see me type that in?
But if Darnold were to beat the Packers and then beat the Lions, and the Lions game would probably be the Sunday night game, because if they beat the Packers, then that game would be for everything in the NFC, basically. If Darnold won 15-2, that guy has a case for MVP. But it would require, a lot to go right.
He's just not going to win it though, because his name isn't Josh Allen.
I'm just saying,
Lamar. I agree with you though.
Do not bet Burrow to win MVP. First of all, he hasn't even been MVP. Like, he's had ample opportunities to win a lot of these football games, and he hasn't done it. So, he's produced a lot of his stuff. I love Joe Burrow. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks, and I'll defend him. But a lot of his stats have been in garbage time because he has a shitty defense. I mean, that's not MVP stuff. And he had opportunity to win these football games. He had the ball late against Baltimore multiple times, in both games.
But you can't just throw out the record either. I'm not going to shit on Joe Burrow for his stats because he had to put up those stats because his defense was dog shit. So I'm not going to knock him for that stuff.
We're all saying the same thing anyway.
Yeah, the same thing.
We all like Burrow. He's not the MVP.
My question was, it has nothing to do with Burrow, actually. It was, do you guys think that Josh Allen should be a minus 200 favorite to Lamar Jackson at plus money? Because I know Lamar won it.
800 yesterday. It moved.
Okay, but my point is that I think Lamar Jackson this year has played better football than the 2 years that he won his MVPs. Better football than those 2 years. Better at quarterback, real quarterback play. Lamar Jackson has played better. I don't even have to look at the numbers, even though I know the numbers are going to tell me I'm right, to know this, because I literally watched the dude, and I can just tell he is so much more comfortable moving around from the pocket, throwing off the move, he's everything, and it looks effortless. And everyone's knocking him because he's got Derrick Henry. Everyone's case why Josh Allen is the obvious pick over Lamar is because, if you took Lamar off the team, they have Derrick Henry. The Bills got good fucking players too. I know they're not Derrick Henry, but the Bills have a really good team. They've got a solid defense. They've got James Cook. They traded for Cooper, and they got players. I just don't subscribe to that. I really think that Lamar Jackson should be the favorite if they win the division. If the Ravens end up winning the division, Lamar Jackson should be the MVP over Josh Allen. And I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm a known Ravens hater and I'm a known Lamar Jackson hater, but I cannot lie about this. Lamar Jackson's playing the best football I've ever seen, and he's already won 2 MVPs. He should be winning the third. That's my take.
I think betting Josh Allen to win MVP is free money. I think anybody should jump on it at minus 200. I mean, I like Lamar, and I think Lamar is playing amazing, and I think Lamar has had more splash highlight plays, but Josh Allen is leading a team that is significantly less talented than the Ravens, to a better record. He has the highlight win versus the Chiefs, the only win, and his record's better. His team is worse. you switch teams, this
I'll take that Bills defense over the
and on
Ravens
top of it,
defense.
the voters, if it's close, they're going to give it to Josh Allen. They just gave it to Lamar last year. We saw it all. We've seen it with MVP voting throughout the years. You know, Michael Jordan was MVP many years, but they gave it to guys like Charles Barkley and other things because it's time to, spread it around. I mean, Patrick Mahomes has been the MVP multiple years and he doesn't get it. Tom Brady was the MVP every year. Like, I mean, Bill Belichick, coach of the year every year, but they didn't get it. They just don't give it to guys back to back. They kind of like to sprinkle it around. Josh Allen at minus 200 is just an absolute layup. I mean, I would take it right. I would take it right here.
ODB, forget what JSU just said. Just bet Josh Allen. Free money. That was what I got.
But we can both be right. Lamar could deserve to get it, but Josh Allen is going to.
I think that's the case. I think that's the case. Is Josh Allen's probably going to win it. I feel like I'm right with my take, but I agree with you that they're probably going to give it to him either way because it's close, right? ODB, like unless Lamar goes like it's not going to probably happen now, but yeah, it's dumb talking about. Let's keep it moving here. Last game on Saturday, we've got Arizona and the Rams, 6.5 point spread. Rams are favored at home. 47.5 is the total. Cardinals done out of the playoffs. Tony, ODB, our team, the Cardinals, they shit the bed down the stretch for us, boys. Kyler Murray absolutely did not come through for us. That was a tough ending to his season, which is pretty much over, even though the season's not over. It's over for them. ODB, what are you doing here with Cardinals and Rams now that Cardinals season's over and the Rams are playing for the division?
I think I've had a pretty good take on this Cards team the whole year. I mean, I kind of gone up and down with them as they've gone. I had Carolina last week versus them. The chat's on fire today. I mean, that's what happens when you guys make them wait 35 minutes while you're on the workbench.
That's what happens.
So one of my favorite things in these late betting things is when teams have been out of the playoffs for a while, I feel like they kind of, yeah, exactly. When teams have been out of the playoffs for a while, I feel like they can kind of gather themselves and they play because that's just what they've been doing for a while. Just like the Bears. That's why I thought the Bears had a legitimate shot last night. They've been out of the playoffs for a while. They're going to regroup. They're going to, circle the wagons and play on a national TV game for their jobs, for their pride, because that's what they've been doing for the last few weeks. But one of my favorite things is when a team has been in a playoff push for weeks and weeks and weeks, and they've been giving it their all, and they've been getting in these close games, and they've been pulling them out or losing them closely. That first week when they get eliminated, they just kind of exhale, and it's just kind of like, okay, now what? And it takes them a week or two to get into that mode of playing for pride. I think this is where we have this Cardinals team right now. They lost the game, a heartbreaker that they in Carolina, and now they have to come on a short week, travel to LA. Granted, it's not that far, but a short week with versus a team with everything on the line when their entire season has just been ripped from them. They've been fighting for 15 weeks. I think this is a really good spot for the Rams. The line reflects it. I mean, if both teams were in the playoffs, it would be 3. So I think, the line is high, but I think it's justifiably high. And I can see if this game starts to get a little bit down that the Cardinals don't push through here. So we got nicked up guys everywhere for the Cards. I think 2 of their offensive linemen are out. Kyler's not the type of guy to me that he seems a little bit more of a front runner than a kind of guy who's just going to fight for pride. So that's just kind of my thought process on this game is it's Rams, even though the line's a little inflated. It's Rams or nothing for me here.
Tony, do you agree with that? Rams or nothing?
Yeah, last week, I mean, I gave the speech last week on the show about Arizona. We all picked them preseason, and then I picked Carolina, even though I hated Carolina. and then Carolina beat them in a tough game. So I agree with what ODB's saying, where I just don't see how they compete in this game. It would take a lot of heart. Connor's banged up too. I did hear, I think he might play now, but either way, they're banged up. They used everything they had to try to make a run. And now you face a team that needs to win. I think it's Rams all day. I'm only a little worried because it feels like the line should be 7. It's 6.5. I still just have to take the Rams. I can't. Everything ODB said, I agree with. I can't take Arizona after that. I just have to take the Rams, and no matter what happens, happens.
Yeah, I can't in good conscience. I agree with you. Take the Cardinals after what I watched last week. I will not do it. Kyler Murray looked completely just done with this season, and I'm sure some of the players pissed off after that loss are going to follow suit because, you know, you kind of follow the leader with that type of stuff. And when he shits the bed, it's kind of just a trickle effect. And yeah, I think that's what happens. So, yeah, Rams and for sure. JSU on a banana fest plus 230. Yeah, fucking hate bananas. They suck. Imagine eating a banana as an adult. Do you guys actually people actually eat bananas?
I love bananas.
Really?
Banana smoothies are great.
Put it on a t-shirt. I love
Wait,
bananas.
oh no, smoothies. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
saying, like,
I had a
imagine
banana
like
this
eating
morning.
a banana.
That's literally all I've eaten so far today is a banana and water. That's it.
Damn.
I'm on a
All
banana
right,
and
well,
water fast.
Forget what
myself.
I said, Johnny. Off, you lost. You lost, even though it was
You
plus
just changed that
230.
to ODB is on a banana fast.
Yeah.
Plus 230. Cash that ticket.
Damn. Cash
Oh,
it.
you guys
That
got
was
me
probably
dying.
like plus 500 right there,
A
ODB.
banana.
All right. Jets and Bills here. We think Aaron Rodgers on a banana fest right now. What's he doing right now? He's about to be
He might be eating a
football.
banana, but not an actual banana.
All right. What are we doing with Jets and Bills? By the way, Jets just the funniest team to watch. They just completely don't care anymore. They're just like, yeah, you want to go for it on 4th and 10? Go for it. It's the second quarter, but just do what you want. Like, just go for it from wherever. Doesn't even matter. You know, we want to lose anyways, so it's fine.
Can we put?
But,
I want to put this in the vault. I want you guys to remind me about this next year. When teams fire their coaches and they promote stupid coordinators that are not good, let's just pound against them. I mean, let's look at the coordinators: Thomas Brown, Jeff Albright, Darren Rizzi. I mean, these guys are just getting absolutely worked by real NFL coaches. I mean, say what you want about Eberflus or Sala or whatever, but at least, you know, his guys were prepared for some situations. I mean, yes, I know Eberflus, you know, failed the end of that Lions game, but it's like these guys, I think when they get promoted, they just have too much responsibility. They have too many things going on. They have to do their old job. They have to do their new job. Most likely the team sucks, so they probably weren't very good at their old job anyway. They're definitely not going to be good at their new job. Let's just fade all these guys. I mean, maybe the first week they get a bounce, but I mean, Ulbrich might be the worst head coach in the history of the NFL. I mean, this guy is absolutely clueless out there.
yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers just kind of does what he wants on offense, but I agree with the sentiment. The Bears coach was clueless. This guy's clueless. We saw what the Packers did to the Saints, and the Saints, you know, it's just continue down the list here with bad coaches. But I kind of agree with your sentiment, how like they probably feel like they have a little bit too much on their plate, trying to do too much. And yeah, that's a good point. But Bills at home, 10-point spread, 46. Jets are kind of checked out here. It is a division game, but I'm probably not betting this game. I can't take the Jets after what I want. They literally just don't care anymore. It's just whatever they want to do. So I'd be on the Bills. ODB, which side are you on here?
I mean, the Jets don't want to tackle anybody. So, I mean, the Jets don't want to tackle. They don't want to block. So this Bills team is kind of physical on offense. I think they'll try to manufacture some touchdowns for Josh Allen. I mean, they don't really have to manufacture them. I mean, he's just going to get them. But I mean, I think If he's going to play, they're going to try to make sure that he gets some numbers for MVP. And then the running game, they got these three guys, an offensive line, and like I said, nobody on the Jets wants to tackle. It's going to be cold. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's open is the fact that the Bills' defense is not that good, and the Jets will throw it a lot, so the back door is open there.
Tony, Bills, easy one.
Yeah, I mean, I can't take the Jets. I can't. It's actually 9.5 at a few sites too, so you can save a half point going to one of the smaller sites that we don't like on this show. But you can save a half point if you need to. I think the Bills probably crush them. The Bills struggled last week too, which makes me like them even more this way. The Bills are going to roll. Yeah, I like the Bills.
Bills are going to roll. All right, let's get to a better game, at least from a betting perspective. I like this game here. Carolina and Tampa Bay.
I want to hear your 10-minute rant again this week about your Bucks after that.
Yeah. Well, no, I was gonna actually bring up the fact that I've had a good feel for this Carolina team being favored at home, telling people to go against it, then being dogs, telling people to go with it. It's kind of been a flip-flop with the Panthers squad, but I've been right on them the last couple weeks. Tampa did definitely let me down, though. That's for sure.
You talked them up so freaking hard all last week.
I still love them.
And they got stroked.
And you know what I'll say, too, is our boy Stats, who does his power ranking stuff after that loss, he posted a sheet. He still had the Bucks like 8th overall in his power rate, and he's been high on the Bucks all year. So I felt better when I saw like another sharp guy who's like been all over the Bucks all year, and he's still like some. But again, that takes in like the whole season, obviously, all of his like numbers and stuff like that. But it was just good to see that. So I do think this is Bucky season for sure. This is such a good spot for him, but I like the Panthers at +8. I think the Panthers have been playing hard. They've been playing solid enough football, and I like them as dogs. I don't like them as favorites ever. Whenever they're a favorite, bet against them. They're not that type of team. Even when they're at home, it doesn't matter. But I think 8 points. I know it's in Tampa. I think there's going to be points in this game too. I think I kind of like the over. And the dog here, or the points with Carolina here. It's definitely a game for DFS that I'll probably like a little bit too, because there's going to be some interesting plays. But yeah, I'm on I'm with the points with Panthers and the over. Tony, we'll throw it to you first. What do you like?
Yeah, it looks like one of those teaser games that we've had all year that in the past years have just continued to roll, and then this year it always struggles. So, I mean, Tampa Bay. Oh, man, I just keep coughing. It's brutal. Tampa Bay looks like a lock as far as the teasers, teasing it down to 2. But it's just Carolina's had some fight to them the last stretch, like you said. I like how they've looked. I'm sure they've had bad games in there, but for the most part, they've competed every week. Bryce Young looks better than C.J. Stroud, which no one thought would happen when that went down like that. So I tend to like Carolina a little bit too in this game. I do think Bucky's going to go off, but I don't think they're 8.5 points better. And what's their playoff issue here?
They have to win both, and then Atlanta has to lose one.
So they don't have the tiebreaker. That's what I was wondering.
But I mean, it's 50-50 according to the models. So I mean, it's all hands on deck.
And if they don't win the division, are they for sure out?
They're out.
Yes, because the Packers and who's the other team in that division with like multiple Vikings. They're the
Redskins also. The Redskins also.
The Redskins, but they've got double-digit wins too, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Okay. That makes me like the Bucks slightly more than I thought, just because I didn't realize that they got to win both. Falcons, okay, but I still like Carolina plus the points. It could even be a game too where I do think Tampa wins the game. You could do the old hedge move and take teaser Tampa Bay, spread Carolina, and I've honestly done that with 2-teamers even, where if I like a game, like say I like whatever, Green Bay. I like Green Bay. I just put Green Bay in both forms, like tease it with Tampa and parlay it with Carolina. And just if you hit that middle where Tampa wins by 3-7, you got a nice little action on your other game you like. I know it's a little weird, but it's one of the things I like to do when I'm betting.
All right, there we go. ODB, can we Tony went back and so are you officially going Tampa or Carolina?
I'm taking Carolina with the points for sure.
Okay. Yeah, okay, Carolina. So we got 2 on Carolina with the points. Can we make it 3?
Yeah, I like this Carolina team. I think they had some unfinished business versus Tampa in the first game. They had that game won multiple times. They let it slip away. They're playing with confidence. This is kind of one of those things that I talked about with the Arizona. When you've kind of been eliminated for a while, you play free and you kind of you know what you're playing for. Like they're not playing for draft picks. They're not worried about, going between the, protecting the 7th pick or 9th pick or anything like that. So I think that they're playing strong. They're playing good. I like the over in this game. I think that there's points scored. I think this game's going to be extremely chalky from a DFS standpoint, but I mean, I can't hate on it. I mean, there's no Sterling Shepard, which he takes some targets. There's no Otten. And, obviously this other tight end will get a few, but he's not going to get the Otten share. The Rashard White fumbled. So I think it's Bucky season. Bucky destroyed this team the first time they played. Carolina, the path is pretty easy. I mean, the Bucs stop the run and they can't stop the pass. So this to me is very, very simple game. I'm going to play Bucky, and I'm going to play at least a pass catcher on Carolina, and then at least one pass catcher on Tampa. I don't know if it's Evans or McMillan. Just kind of depends on the builds. If I can get up to Evans, if I can find a cheap guy that I feel comfortable with, I'll play Evans. If I can't, then I'll just play a mid-range guy with McMillan. I think either quarterback is fine. I like the over. Like I said, I think this is a pretty good spot. Maybe not in big tournament fields because I think that all the pieces are showing up as big value, so they're going to be pretty chalky. But just in general, I think this game nukes, and I think Carolina's kind of live. So I like Carolina in the points, and I like the over for sure.
All right, we're together on that one here. Let's go to the Cowboys. The Cowboys, how about them Cowboys right here? Loves the Cowboys. Damn Cowboys. Still pissed about that game. Against the Eagles. Eagles dropping a tough one to Washington. It looks like we're going to see Kenny Pickett for a second game here, boys. It looks like Jalen Hurts. It's going to be an uphill battle or whatever Sirianni says for him to play with the concussion. I don't know if that's official yet, but 7.5 points is the spread here. It's in Philly, and the total's 38 right now. So could play kind of ugly. ODB, do you think this game plays ugly?
Yeah, I mean, no CeeDee Lamb really makes me not like the Cowboys as much as I may have. He's pretty important to the team. You have Cooper Rush with his main targets being Jake Ferguson and Jalen Tolbert and Brandon Cooks. And, Rico is fine in a good matchup, but it's not like, Philly's not a good matchup for running back. So I think Dallas is going to struggle to move the ball. At the same time, Dallas defense has played a little better, and Kenny Pickett is Kenny Pickett. So, yeah, I don't really have a strong take here. I do think that for me to be able to get some of the high price guys I like in fantasy this week, that I'm going to be looking to the Dallas side of the ball to squeeze in a couple guys. I think Ferguson looks really nice. He's definitely been a part of this offense. I never trust Brandon Cooks to be a volume guy, so I don't like him. Tolbert looked like he got banged up a little bit, but he's pretty good. And my real question is, do they it feels like they've been trying to integrate Turpin more into the game. He's 3,400. What do you guys think about him? Does he have, I know he's got the upside, because he can house them, but does he have enough of a floor that I can think about just punting that, that last spot with him to be able to, get some good running backs and Mike Evans and such in there? What do you guys think about Turpin in this game?
Tony, you like Turpin?
I mean,
the CD looks got to go somewhere, right?
No.
To me, he's not. He doesn't seem to me like the volume type guy that CD is, but I think it's more going to just get spread out a little bit. I will say though, I do think he has upside. I just don't know like you said floor, and I'm like,
yeah. I mean, his floor has been low, but they gave him some runs last week. They they handed him the ball off a couple times.
He did play in that second half a good amount when CD was out. I will say, I don't know the exact numbers that he played, but he did play a good amount. Let's see here. He ran 36% of the routes, which I think was up from the week before. They do have a bunch of other guys though, which is the only problem with Dallas. So
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of reaching and trying to find somewhere to save some money, and so I don't have to play these shitty Saints guys that are going to be chalky and awful. So I was just trying to find a little spot, and I thought the Dallas guy might, one of these Dallas guys might work. But anyway, from a game standpoint, though, I'm just kind of off this game. I don't really trust either of these teams as currently set up. I don't really want to lay that many points with Pickett, and I don't really want to take it with, a weaponless Cowboy team.
I agree. I think this game plays sloppy. Tony, 7.5 points.
I like Philly for sure. I think Philly lays the smackdown. I don't see how Dallas is going to score at all. Cooper Rush is terrible. CD's out. I mean, they just don't have anything, and they don't have anything to play for either. So I'm actually happy that Pickett's in there because you can get a better price on the game, and I just can't see Dallas doing anything. So I definitely like Philadelphia in this spot. I like Philly a lot too. I think Philly wins by 20 plus.
Yeah, I think this game's like 20-6. I think Philly wins. I think they kind of coast though once they get up because Dallas isn't going to give them a threat. Like they're not going to be a threat. They're just going to run the ball with Saquon. I think it is Philly, but I think it's more low scoring. I think this game goes under, pretty decently. So yeah, I'm on the Philly side with you. Let's go to the Colts and the Giants. Another 7.5 point spread. Giants. They were a tough watch last game out here. Tony, I'll throw this one back to you. It's another 7.5 point. Colts in New York. It's 40 total. Where are you going? Your boy Anthony Richardson?
I mean, it's one of those teams that I've been right about or give up on the Giants. I mean, they haven't won since, right? They've lost a bunch of games in a row. It's another game. This is the hard point of the year where I just don't know how you can take the Giants in a spot like this. They just have shown nothing. The Colts have to win. It is those numbers where it's a road game. It's Anthony Richardson, where if the Giants really wanted to play hard, I could see them competing against a guy like Anthony Richardson who can't throw on the road. Who knows what the weather's going to be like in New York? Probably not great. I could see it, but then you just think about the Giants, and they just have had no heart. They got no quarterback. Neighbors really didn't. I don't know how you could take the Giants, so I have to take the Colts. I just don't have a choice. It is another game though where I would just tease it though, like tease it to 1.5. They have to win for the playoff picture. Seems like an easy teaser to me.
And the Giants have to lose to keep that pick. They want that first pick. Like they are right
Giants
now.
Can't win this game. Like they just can't.
They're the only team with only 2 wins. I mean, so right, because there's a log jam with 3 wins and 4 wins, but they're the only team right now with 2. So they're definitely not wanting to win these games. But I'm with you. I'm probably not going to bet this game, but not a bad teaser spot. ODB, where are you at?
Well, I'm going to tell you what to do with this game. This is for the show, and we come on here to give good takes, and I think I have a great take for this game. If you like the Bengals in this game, parlay the Bengals with the Colts. If the Bengals win this football game, the Colts stay alive in the playoffs. Anthony Richardson sucks it up. The team's motivated. They have a legitimate chance of making the playoffs. That line's going to go up. They're going to play harder. They're going to be good. If you like the Broncos to win the game against the Bengals, parlay the Bengals with the Giants spread. If the Broncos win this game, the Colts will have nothing to play for. Anthony Richardson sat out a couple practices. I don't think they stretch him. I don't think they put him in harm's way. And I think this team will be a little deflated with only having a few hours to recoup and get their mind right before they play. And the number probably will go down. So my take is, if you like like I said, you like the Bengals, parlay their money line with the Colts. If you like the Broncos, parlay that money line with the Giants spread. I think the Colts can find a way to win even with their second effort, because if Dable has been assured that he's coming back as a coach, he's going to want a quarterback and he's going to want to lose this game. So I don't really think the Giants will try to win this game outright. I think he'll make sure that they don't win this game outright.
You look at Neighbors. Neighbors don't want to win. He's running routes like half-assed too. He wants his boy, what's the Dion's son? Shador. He wants Shador.
The one thing Malik does want, though, is he wants that rookie record. He's got to get it from Puka. He needs 9 more catches, I think. I mean, the dumbest record of all time. I mean, Malik's catches are all like worthless 1 yarders.
How is he near Puka's record? That's crazy.
With injury too, because he gets 16 meaningless targets a game. Yeah. But I really think it's a good way to attack this football game. I think that the line is going to change, and I think the line will move based on what the Broncos do. And I think you're going to get value on the line based on what the Broncos do. So you might as well just get a couple points of value with that. So anyway, that's my take on this game. I don't really have a take without the premise of the Broncos, because I don't think I want any part of the Colts laying this wood if the Broncos win and eliminate them from the playoffs.
Xavier Worthy coming on strong towards the end of the year. I needed it earlier though, Worthy. It's one of my highest owned best ball guys. I needed it a little sooner for my teams, but he's been coming on strong here. Let's get to a game where you got two teams that really both suck and want to lose, but one of them might not actually realize they want to lose. That's the Raiders. They're 1-point favorite in New Orleans against the Saints. Saints just getting pounded by the Packers like we all thought. I mean, Tony, I think that was probably the easiest game to predict all year, was the Saints and Packers. Might have been like the script of the game, I'm saying, like might have been just the easiest game, because that was to a T exactly how we wrote it up at Run Pure Sports. The showdown content was on point. Now you get the Saints and the Raiders. I mean, pick between the two bad teams. Who you got? You got the Saints at home or the Raiders?
Yeah, it makes it tough when it's two teams like this. And a lot of the games have one team playing for something, the other one not really. This game, I don't want to take a cop out, but I don't see any reason you need to bet this game. It's Raiders versus Saints. I mean, I could pick a side, but I don't have any conviction.
Okay, but let's pretend that there's Saints and Raiders fans out there and they want to bet a side. Come on, give them what they want.
I guess I would have to take the Raiders, just because I think Pierce at least wants to win, or at least maybe wants to win. And I don't trust the Saints at all. So by the tiniest of margins, I'll say I'll take the Raiders.
That's what I would say too, is like the coach that doesn't realize that they shouldn't want to win, but like he wants to win for whatever reason. Like I'm going to go that side. I probably won't put much money on this game, but that's the way I look at it. ODB, Raiders, Saints, pick between the bad teams.
Yeah, I like the Raiders in this game. I think that they're trying hard. Aiden O'Connell's not bad. I mean, he's not good when you're talking about NFL quarterbacks, but compared to what the Saints are rolling out there, and compared to Gardner Minshew and Ritter, he's been okay. The Raiders are playing hard, and the Saints are not. The Saints are really bad. They're really banged up. They have no playmakers at all. I can't imagine they're going to force Kamara back out there. Or, I mean, uh, it's crazy that Olave has been practicing and could go back out there, but that just might be a smoke screen. I just can't see Spencer Rattler. Um, he's just bad. He's just a very bad quarterback. He's been bad since he was in high school. I mean, high school he was great, top recruit, but I think he's underwhelmed at everything he's done. I've been completely unimpressed by him in the NFL, and that defense. The defense is not good. The offense is not good. The weapons are not good, and the Raiders are at least trying and playing hard. And um, I don't know. Antonio Pierce, the one thing he did good last year is he motivated his team when they had nothing to play for, and they played hard, and that's how he got the job. So I don't really see that stopping right here. You can see that Rizzy is just completely out of his element. I mean, he's completely lost out there. So yeah, I mean, this is the one time that the Raiders actually have a coaching advantage. They actually have a quarterback advantage. They have a skill position advantage. There's no home field there. So I mean, yeah, I like the Raiders. I like the Raiders a good bit. I think the Raiders get the job done here.
I got a question here. Or next game up on the slate, we got the Titans and the Jaguars. And ODB, I got a question for you. Do you like plus 200 winners?
I do like plus 200 winners.
Yeah, well, there was a plus 200 winner that was given out on this damn show last week. It's called the Nick Westbrook-Akine touchdown, baby, and we got it. Nice. Even if it was in garbage time, we got it, baby. Big T, look at him. He was giving me all the show. You just bet your Nick Westbrook-Akine touchdown. I will, and I did, and I'll keep doing it because he keeps scoring touchdowns like every other fucking week. I think he's got like 9. By the way, like some ridiculous amount.
I can't wait to see your exposure on Nick Westbrook-Akine next year in best ball.
Dude, I don't know about best ball. I should. Yeah, you're right. But the problem is it'll be inflated now because he's been catching all these touchdowns. So people might actually draft him. But if he's going late, I will draft him. And he is plus, let's see, 295. Plus 295 for an anytime touchdown bet. I'm just saying it again on this show, because he keeps cashing for us, but just throwing it out there. These winners. And I'm probably going with the Titans here. Titans, Jags, it's a 1-point spread. It is in Jacksonville. Jacksonville's whole offense right now is just like, get Thomas the football. Just like, no, don't forget about everyone else. Just, they went away from Strange, everything. Their offense was Tank Bigsby, who keeps fumbling, and to Thomas. The one big play Thomas had was just a complete defensive just breakdown where the cornerback just let him run right past him because he thought he had help, and did not have help, and it was an easy bomb. But I think I'm going with the Titans here. They at least, to me, have been playing hard. But these are similar teams, in my opinion. I'll lean Titans. But ODB, what are you doing here? Titans, Jags, 1-point spread. Jaguars are slightly favored at home.
I lean Jags. I feel like they're playing a little bit better. And yeah, so you're complaining about getting your best, force feeding your best player of the ball. I mean, I think that's actually pretty good strategy. I like it. Like, get the ball to BTJ. I could see Strange coming back. I mean, after he was chalk last week, they're still going to have a second spot there. I think this is kind of a sneaky good DFS game. You got BTJ, who's really good, and you have Strange, who's going to be under-owned, but is still pretty affordable. And he did have a pretty good, they do like the tight end. So, I mean, take out last week, and the Jags have used the tight end quite a bit. I feel like Calvin Ridley, revenge game. It's a nice bring back. If you want Westbrook-Akine, you could do that. I feel like there's some good pieces here, and I think the defenses are just bad enough that sometimes these games get a little sideways. So Yeah, I kind of like the over, and I kind of like the Jags.
All right. LSU pumping out receivers. They definitely are. Tony, where are you at with this game? Another which team that shit is gonna lose, wants to lose, but one team's gotta win, right?
I like Tennessee less than anybody, so I got to go Jacksonville with ODB. I at least like their players better. I don't like anybody on Tennessee. I hate what they're doing. I at least like one guy on Jacksonville. So if I like one guy on the team, I'm going to take that team. But it's
What if
another
Tony
game.
Pollard's ruled out? What if Tony Pollard is ruled out? Right now he's questionable.
First of all, I think if Tony Pollard's in, I think he's one of the better plays of the week is the funny thing. He's really high up the flow chart. But if he's out, I think Tajay Spears is one of the even
So
better
then you would like a Titan.
No.
You just said you would like a Titan.
I like
You'd be
his
one of the
price.
better
I don't
plays.
like him as a player. I hate the Titan.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, just terrible. But Jacksonville for me here. But you need to call the hotline if you're betting this game.
I will be betting this game and the Raiders. So, Hook, give me a first
class
ticket to the hotline.
If you're a professional, you're allowed to.
All right. Well, I might have to call the hotline. So hotline, get ready for me.
You're also a professional. If you're a casual with a normal job and you're betting this game, you need the hotline.
I might still need the hot. They might just make me after the amount of Nick Westbrook-Akine bets. Like, what the fuck are you doing right now, you idiot? Stop betting this guy. Damn it. All right. Miami.
I want someone to count how many cuss words JSU has during a show. It's got to be astronomical.
You can't. You know why? You lose track.
I know. That's why I want like a clicker, like you're an umpire that does the pitch count in baseball. You just hit the clicker each time one drops out. Like once you get to 100, you got to pull the pitcher.
I would want to hear the clicks though, because in my head it would like make me self-conscious if I started hearing it like after the fact. How many times in one segment I hear the click and I'm like, okay, I'm averaging like 5 a segment. Like, let me see if I can get 6.
I was talking to a totally random person the other day at one of these basketball games. Like, I love the shows. My kids like my kids like to listen, but we just can't do it because JSU cusses every 3 seconds. I'm like, well, I guess kids aren't allowed to watch any of our shows because he cusses like a freaking sailor.
Yeah, sorry to any parents out there that listen to this show without headphones near your kids.
It's when they're in the car, though. So many people drive and listen to our shows, and their kids are in the car.
Listen, I'm pro everyone being able to listen to our shows, but you know what? I get it. Some people don't want their kids hearing cuss words. I totally understand it, but I can't change it. Ship's already sailed for me, people. I ain't changing. I'm already 34. There's no way I'm changing now. Maybe I could have changed when I was like a kid, Tony, but now I'm an adult, and there's no way I'm losing all the cuss.
Those words anyways. Let them know those words.
Yeah, that's a good point right there. You can just let him know. I mean, my nephew hears it. He's 2. He hears it. Yeah, what's the workbench? But I will say, though, Tony makes that like a friendly thing. Even though the kids don't know that, he makes like a friendly thing. So they don't know when I say the word fuck, the kids are probably like repeating that to their dad. And then, yeah, I get that.
Let me alert everybody here right now. If you're watching this show, your kids have heard you cuss at the end of football games, when your parlay misses, when your guy ends on 99 and he gets carted off the field and misses the 100-yard bonus, when he gets stopped, when they call it a touchdown and they review it and his knee was down. Every kid whose dad watches this show, believe me, they know the words because you've been saying it.
And let me tell you right now, that is ODB coming to JSU's defense, and we don't see that very often. So that's a fact. What he's saying right now is 100% true. My brother, who has a kid, he does that crap when we're watching football, and my nephew's sitting right next to him. So I definitely know that happens.
If you're watching football with your kids and you're not cussing, you're not doing it right.
I can't believe Tony wouldn't have my back.
Kids or my wife.
I can't believe Tony wouldn't have my back to that, Dad. You should have told him that, Tony. You should have said.
I've never cussed in front of my kids or my wife.
Wow, that's
Did,
Kentucky
ODB,
value
did
right
I
there.
ever did I ever tell
That's
you?
Kentucky value.
Did I ever tell you how I would talk to this dude on the phone like all the time, and he'd be in the car and he'd have me on like the car speaker, but he never tells me when his kids are in the car. So
Like
then
it would
all of a
change.
sudden, but then all of a sudden I'd hear like his son Grayson or his daughter Courtney's voice in the background, and I'm like, "Are your kids there?" I've already sworn like 10 different times.
I love that you think it would matter though if I told you. Like you wouldn't
No,
still
it would
do it.
though, because if that's the difference though, like this is a show I can't help myself because I get animated and I get into, but when I'm on the phone having a personal conversation with you, if you told me, hey, my kids are in the car, I'm gonna hold back from swearing because I know they're in the car.
I don't believe you.
Bullshit.
Who uses the phone now anyway?
It's a good point.
mean-
It's always when I'm driving.
Yeah.
That's literally the only time you should ever use.
I would
telephone.
never be on my phone at the house, like just sitting in my like family room on the phone or something.
Yeah. It's like always when you're in the car.
Yeah.
But either way, I think that's bullshit. You should have had my back. Fuck you.
I got
I
you.
think I did actually have your back, honestly. I was like, it's just part of the show. He just cusses. Like, that's what, if you want to watch it, you just got to listen to it.
That's it. Your Christmas gift just went in the trash. Screw you. Your Christmas gift just right in the trash. I'm not even sending it now. That's it. On to the next game here. Dolphins.
Where's
and
my
Browns.
RPS blanket, Christmas blanket or something?
Did you get one last year, the Christmas blanket?
I got that black RPS blanket. I need.
Yeah, that was the
send me-
last one.
That was the one.
Tough
Yeah.
times around here. We didn't send nothing this year.
Jesus, we're gonna have to start charging for this show.
We need to.
Just 34. I got nuts.
He is a young buck.
That's a good one right there. All right. Your Dolphins, my Browns. You guys owned me with the Dolphins last week. I know that. And I got owned on top of it because of that stupid Achane touchdown at the end of the game. Tilted me and it cost me like 3K tickets. So I'm also double mad about that.
Frankie said he bubbled the 555 best ball on that play too.
Oh, God. Really?
Yeah, that's what he said on that same play.
You know what's funny though is we all, when we have Achane, would be rooting for him to do what he did and score. It's just the fact that
I
it
had
screwed
Achane,
us.
so I was happy. I was happy. We were going crazy. It set us up to advance. Ended up not coming through because whatever. But the late game we missed. But we were all set to bring two teams through on that Achane play. But yeah.
Damn you. That doesn't count as a swear word. I just said damn you. It
That
doesn't count.
as a swear word.
I'm just making for whoever is doing the
Now
clip
you're
right
just
now.
adding stuff in, like dropping F-bombs. That doesn't count.
Yeah, damn you does not count. Okay. I'll tell you that right now. That is not a swear. And anyone who tells you it is, they're lying. Not a swear. So now they get the Browns in Cleveland. Miami going into Cleveland, 6.5 point spread, 37.5 total. Looks like an ugly game. Cleveland clearly not trying to win right now. ODB, are we just rolling with the Dolphins, even though it's in the elements?
Yeah, I won't be betting this game. I'd much rather bet the Raiders or the Jags than the Dolphins or the Browns. I don't really like this game. The Dolphins, I don't really think are very good. I don't really trust them outside in a cold environment. At the same time, I'm not really sure what Cleveland's even doing. I mean, you got multiple veterans on the team coming out and saying, yeah, if we're not going to change things here, then I'll just leave. Nothing you like to see when a team's kind of quitting in both the media and with their play. The defense did kind of fight in that Cincinnati game, but that's probably just because they hate the Bengals. I don't know if they're going to fight here versus Miami. Kind of interested to see what I'm not really betting this game, so I'll just say that. Maybe the under, if anything. But I want to hear what Big T says because the flow chart has Achane down at the absolute bottom and the projections have Achane as one of the best plays of the week. And I don't know, I'm just kind of torn because on one side, I do see that, Achane gets the work. This is an important game for the Dolphins. They do need to, you know, do things. But then on the flip side, I look at it and it's like, well, they're really low on the chart. I don't really see this as being a shootout. Um, is there somebody else I should pivot to off of Achan, or just take the free 7 dump offs that he's going to get and a couple red zone looks and just take my points and not try to overanalyze? What do you think, Big T?
So the one thing that the flowchart's been best at for sure is running back. Like, it's just crushed. I wish I could see. Of course, I don't have actual data on it, but I'm not even smart enough to know that type of stuff. But it is crushed up top. And when I have a couple clear-cut plays at the top, being Bucky Irving and Jonathan Taylor, I just want to play those guys. And there's a lot of really good projected guys at the bottom. Achane, Jacobs, Chuba at the very bottom of the chart. Just me personally, I just can't play those guys over like Bucky and JT. Like, JT's in a must-win game versus the Giants. Bucky's in a must-win game versus Carolina. I know that's only 2 and you can play 3, but man, I just can't. And it's been working too. The last like 4 or 5 weeks I've done this and it's just smashed. Like, Bucky and JT just keep smashing. And then you don't even have to overthink the other one. Yeah, if you want to play them, but if a guy is projected that high and going to be high owned and it's a bad matchup, in my opinion, I just have been fading. Like, even if I was, that's true. There's not really any middle tier. Like, Saquon's kind of a middle tier, like in there as far as a good projected guy. But I would not play Achane personally. And I agree with you. In the Miami side, in Cleveland, outside, I think they lay a little stinker in this spot. Even though they need to win, I just don't – it doesn't strike me as a Miami just goes off type spot.
No, and the weather looks pretty bad too. So I think you're going to see a lot of running the football, not a lot of scoring. I think it goes under. I'm with you guys here. Achane's just all a volume play though. So, like, if you like volume, he's going to get peppered.
I think you guys are right about that. Like, I don't think he like sucks. I think he gets you like – I just don't think he has the upside though that I would want when I'm playing someone like that.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I get why he's at the bottom of the flow chart, and I get why projections have him, up towards the top.
The problem is you had JT and Richardson are both like projected really well, but only one of them can do anything because they don't really flow together. I mean, there's some running backs that do flow together with the quarterback. Like, I don't mind, but these are 2 that it's kind of tough. So I don't know.
I just think it's JT, at least for me. I don't think it's as much of a Richardson. I like more when I think they're going to be trailing, like where he can get on the move a little bit. I think it's just JT here for sure.
Got to play old Bucky.
Bucky's for sure. That one's a lock. It's that second spot that I'm struggling with.
JT is going to crush. Just put JT in there. He's going to drop a hammer.
That's what I originally had, and then all the projections had Achane ahead, and I don't know.
I just don't. It's crazy to me. Like, JT versus the Giants, I don't understand the projection difference. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I mean, he hasn't really had. If you just look at what JT's done, maybe it's just like a whole season thing. Because when you look at it outside of the last kind of 2 weeks, he really hasn't done that much for the last couple weeks prior.
JT has to have touchdowns. I mean, he just doesn't.
He's going to get them though. He's going against the friggin' Giants. Right. He's going to crush.
Yeah, like if you think he gets 1 or 2 touchdowns, he's going to crush that price.
3. Like, they're going to crush.
Then he's a lock.
Running back has been the easy. I haven't like shipped anything this year, but running back has been. I'm telling you, the flow chart has been absolutely dialed on the running backs.
All right, we'll follow the flow chart when it comes to the running backs here. I think we all. So we like the Browns, right? You guys are
Yeah,
going with the
I
Browns?
like the Browns.
Browns
for
are
sure.
nothing for me.
I like the Browns. Yeah. All right. Final game of the slate, probably the best game of the slate right here. Packers and Vikings. Big game for these two teams. Well, especially the Vikings, though, because they're technically still live for the division, correct, Abe? ODB?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean,
If they win their last two games, they have the number 1 seed.
right. So this is a huge game for them. Obviously, Packers divisional game. This game is in Minnesota. It's a 1.5 point spread. Vikings are favored. It's 48.5 total. And the Packers have been playing their best football later in the year. They're one of those teams that I thought started out really slow. Jordan Love started out not that great, and he is finished off much better than earlier in the season. Yeah, he still does some things where he'll put it into trouble. He throws off his back foot sometimes, but he's going to do that stuff. He's always done that stuff. That's not changing, but you can tell he's kind of got like the confidence back that he had from last year at the end of the season. And they're rolling it right through into the playoffs. Hopefully these are two playoff teams. Big game. Who we like in here? ODB, I'll throw it to you first. I think I know which side you're going to.
Yeah, I mean, I have been impressed by the Packers. They are they're legit. I mean, I give you props. You were on them. You've been on them from the beginning, and they do a lot of things well. That being said, the Vikings are really good as well. I think both these teams have a legitimate chance now that both the Eagles and the Lions have shown up with some injuries. Both these teams seem to be relatively healthy. It just really all comes down to the fact that this line's a little disrespectful to the Vikings. I mean, you're basically telling me that, I mean, first of all, Minnesota has one of the stronger home field advantages in the game. So let's give them 2.5 points for home field, and then they're getting a point and a half here. You're basically telling me the Packers are 3.5 to 4.5 points better than the Vikings on neutral. I think that's pretty disrespectful. I think these teams are relatively even, so I can get the home team here as a small dog. They needed a lot more than the Packers. The Packers, I don't even know why the Packers are even going to try in this game. I mean, it's more just, I guess, a statement game. It's a chance on a big stage to show you belong. I think that's really it. But it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for them to, show everything they have in this game, because this game really just doesn't mean as much to them. So I think it's disrespectful. I think the motivation is more for the Vikings. The home field's more for the Vikings. So I just got to play the Vikings here. It's a little scary because I do think the Packers have been really impressive, and it's a team that I could see playing some in the playoffs depending on matchups. But in this spot, I think I have to play the Vikings.
What you said at the end was the one thing I was worried about, which is, the Packers probably should be more vanilla in this game because they could end up seeing this team in the playoffs, like potentially, depending on how this game goes, somewhat early. You never know what happens, So that is a good point. But I figured you'd be on the Vikings with them. This game meaning a little bit more to them, and the line being surprisingly, I thought too, like pretty favorable towards the Green Bay side. Even though I do think they're overall the better team, I think these are two very good football teams, and Minnesota is at home. Tony, where are you at with this game?
Yeah, you guys kind of took what I was going to say. The line is the only thing that throws me off. Say both of these teams, like say this was for the division this week, which it's not. Say it was, though. I would love Green Bay in this spot. I would absolutely love it because I think Green Bay is a better football team. It's just those unknowns where they're not playing for anything. Minnesota is. I agree with everything ODB said. It's just the line that worries me, though. Is it like – because I do think Green Bay is a better team. The line scares me. Feels like it should be at least 3 towards Minnesota. It feels super trappy to me, which makes me be a little cautious. But Yeah, I do. Just my common sense tells me Green Bay. A lot of people don't think thoroughly into it too. They're just going to be like, Green Bay's been playing great. Minnesota's kind of overrated. Give me the Packers. I have to take Minnesota, even though I think Green Bay's a better team. It's just they're playing for more. They're still playing for the 1 seed. You just have to do that at home. I'm not going to like go crazy with it because I mean, Green Bay's playing great football. Everything's opening up for Green Bay. Their defense actually looks really good to me. I have to take Minnesota here, though. When they play again in the playoffs, I can promise you I'll be on Green Bay. But this week, I got to take Minnesota for everything these guys said.
Yeah, I can't go against Green Bay, so I will be going Green Bay. But I get where you guys are coming from, and it does make me worried that this game literally means nothing outside of just like pride, divisional matchup, like that type of stuff. And I do think they will play. It's not like they won't play hard. You know what I mean? Like these are two good football teams.
It's more the play call than anything. They're just not going to show some of their good stuff.
I don't know if you remember this game earlier in the season, though. They got absolutely dismantled by the Vikings for like 2.5 quarters, and then they like came back, but they were getting killed by the Vikings earlier in the season. So like that probably still sticks in their head, that first game that they had in Green Bay too, where they didn't have the best game. They really played really bad in that game too, especially the first half. But yeah, that's the only thing. It doesn't really mean as much to the Packers outside of just like what's the worst that can happen for the Packers? They end up getting the seventh, like they can't really go up, right? They can only go down a spot or anything. So
which doesn't even really matter. I mean,
doesn't matter exactly.
I mean,
to them, I guess literally doesn't matter.
I guess it kind of does. I mean, I guess from the standpoint, if you're the 7, you got to play Philly versus if you're the 6, you get to play either the Rams or the Bucks or the Falcons.
That is a good point. It's a definite better spot to be in.
It does kind of matter a little bit, I guess, but yeah, it kind of seems like.
Do you think they prioritize rest or the win next week, though?
Next week against the Bears, I think they will. I don't know. Can't they just do both?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true. That's a good point. Hey, Malik Willis has been good. He could probably get him a win.
Yeah, I think.
As a backup.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really looked into all the Green Bay scenarios, but I don't know.
But you make a good point. Definitely rather not play Philly and rather play any other team pretty much that they'd have to play, I guess. So that is a good point.
I think they would legitimately be favored against all the other 3 teams they could play, and they would be an underdog against Philly. So I guess it might mean a little bit more than I initially thought, because I forgot about the fact of, the 7 seed is really a lot worse than the 6 and the 5.
Yeah, that is a good point. All right, 2 Vikings, 1 Packer. That's going to do it for this show here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like button if you did. We don't ask for much. You can just hit that like button. Thumbs up. We appreciate that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not subscribed. And we'll be back for the Morning Wood Show. That's at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Me, Big T, and the Prez break down this slate from a DFS angle and give you all the best DFS DraftKings picks for you guys. Tony, final words before we get out of here.
Big football weekend, especially college weekend. We got a bunch of games tonight, tomorrow. Great sports weekend. I'm ready for the NFL playoffs. These last 2 weeks are tough as far as getting excited for the NFL. There's a lot of bad games.
No one hates the last 2 weeks of the NFL season more than my guy, Big T. Literally. No. It's like NBA in November, in December, and then the last 2 weeks of NFL. I think the NBA in November and December still rank ahead, but
I mean, you can watch good college games or you can watch this nonsense. I mean, come on.
You're right. You could watch Navy and Oklahoma this afternoon, just stink it up. That's exactly what I want. My eyes were bleeding watching that first quarter.
Coming from the guy that watched a full 6-3 game, I mean, you're really selling it.
Dude, my eyes were bleeding for that game too. That was the worst.
Every NFL game is art. Like you just have to. Sometimes you just have to embrace the awfulness of the play calling, the decision making.
I do love. my Twitter.
I love
on,
every
and I see
NFL game.
ODBs tilting coaches every single time. I like it's like clockwork. Whenever I turn my Twitter on and I see ODB just tilting coaches.
Legitimately rather watch two awful coaches try to manage 2 minutes than I would the good ones. It's so funny, things that are just so obvious, them just continually screw up. So hope you feel better, Big T. You look a little tore up there.
It's my cough, man. I don't even feel bad. It's just the cough is deep.
Hope you don't have the vid.
I probably do, honestly, because it's a terrible cough.
Cough it up, buddy. You should
get that tested before you hang around all those beautiful kids you got.
I don't know if I'll
suck it up, you weenie. Just suck it up. That's what
I did suck it up. I got on here and sucked it up.
Look, let me tell you, if Big T's got the vid, he just sits in the man cave, watches the sports. It's not the worst. It's not the worst.
Yeah.
Any
all right,
shows?
we got a college lock, by the way. You made fun of college, but I got it. When's the Ohio State game? When's the Ohio State game?
Oh, yeah.
It's a few days. What do you like? You like Ohio State?
Sunday?
Yeah.
When is it? Monday?
I don't know what day it is because I don't have it up on my screen, but whenever they play, the Ohio State University is a stone cold lock.
Really?
That game is being played on
Wednesday, maybe?
Wednesday at 5:00. Why do they make us wait so long?
Because they always like New Year's. New Year's
Unbelievable.
Thing. Yeah,
all right.
The sugar and the rose and all those other things.
Well,
How Oregon just got completely owned by the committee. What a dumb playoff structure.
How do you have the number one seed and you get the gift of having to play and as an underdog?
The unanimous number one seed. There was like zero debate. They even went into their home and beat them. Like, how could that possibly?
I think it should be a format too where you seed it and then like Oregon gets to pick right now who they get to play. Like, okay,
that should be how it is.
Every single playoffs should be. The bigger seed gets to pick the game. I mean, it's just everyone.
And then go right down the list.
So great. It would be so great just being able to. Yeah, I mean that's Buffalo comes out and they say, you know what, we want you, Denver.
It would be great. It'd be just a straight call out. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, it's just the best.
You could tell them about it too. Like just show them as they got to pick.
A draft. I mean, it'd just be amazing. McNair, you can turn off anytime. It's just free. Just hit the X button. I mean, it's not that hard.
He would suck JSU's dong. I know that.
Well, number one Big T fan would suck your dong too. So wait, we can't say that stuff. The dad with the kids, they're all listening. Big T never swears in front of anyone.
Big T, the number one fan. That might be Amber.
Damn you's a swear, but you can say dong whenever you want. How about that?
Amber's upstairs watching. She's under the code word Big T's number one fan.
Amber knows that I swear, but it's with love. Okay, Amber knows I don't mean anything by it, but she probably doesn't watch the show because I swear way too much.
Amber's ever watched one of the shows.
Honestly. No, she's Big T's number one fan on here. She's up there right now.
Made that. No, that's too. No. I don't think she is. You know what she's doing, ODB? She's up on the roof right now, like fixing something or taking off Christmas lights or something like. That's what she's doing right now.
The key to life is having a great wife that likes to do everything. I mean,
I agree.
I feel like we might be blessed in that department. I for one am definitely blessed in that department.
Well, you know what? Congrats to you guys. Okay, why don't you guys gloat a little bit more? Blah blah blah. Enjoy your friggin' Friday night. We're out of here.